So I basically had a go at making a pair of stays and I'm really happy with the result. As I'd already said before, I'm doing these in the purple taffeta with sort of like some gold detailing. I'd kind of expected them to turn out really badly, but was using it as like basically a mock-up, but I wanted to actually delve in and use the actual fabrics and stuff, because otherwise it may have turned out okay and then it didn't work in the actual fabric, or it may have looked awful and then it would have looked okay if I'd have used the proper fabric. So basically, I'm gonna give you a bit of a close-up of what I've got so far on this. So I've got an in progress. It's difficult to show. This is actually gold and kind of glittery, and on the other side as well there is some. I'm trying to move so you can see it glittering, but it's difficult. Yes, there is more on one side, but I'm going to be putting lace over this. Also, it's difficult to photograph or film because it basically just looks like a stain on the fabric, but in person it's like gold and shimmery and really nice. I didn't know what I was going to use to bone. I had some reed left over because of the fact that I'd made some corsets using it before, so that was 5mm reed, which I then cut into half for some of them. The ones at the very front are 5mm and then the rest of them are 2.5. So this side is basically already boned. Only the first panel up to about here, so it doesn't sit quite right at the bottom. But it was just to give an idea of whether or not I wanted to use the reed, and I do, so now I've run out I'm going to get some more. Shape-wise, so far I'm really happy with it. I've only done the first two panels, there's two more to go, but I've put it on the mannequin to have a look, and I've held it up against myself, which is impractical to film. I'm really liking it. I'm kind of at the moment worried about how I'm going to bind the tabs, because of the fact that I kind of forgot to add any seam allowance on, because I kind of, I don't know, just didn't know how I would add it kind of here. So they're quite narrow. Sorry, I'm trying to get this in focus. So they're going to be tricky, but it was going to have to be done by hand anyway. Showing you a bit about the construction. This is the next one I'm going to be doing. So there's the purple taffeta on top. Then also I have 2 layers of linen, which is I think I already showed this in the last video anyway, but just in case you didn't see that. Basically what I've done is follow the boning diagram, because this is the pattern that was given on foundations for the 1770s stays rather than the one that's in the Jill Sallen book, because it was easier to just print that off. Basically, I was trying to learn how to use CorelDRAW, and it was easier to do that than it was to scan in a pattern and then enlarge it when I could just download one straight from the website. I've been following the instructions on there and they have been so easy. This is something that has intimidated me for years. I've always wanted to make a pair and I never had the guts. This is something I'm really proud of so far. Okay, so it's half a pair of stays, it's not really anything special. They're only closed at the front, so it's not anything hugely complex or anything, but considering I've spent at least 3 or 4 years thinking I really want to have a go, but they look like they're going to be impossible to conquer, I'm really very proud of myself for actually managing to do these. In terms of how it relates to shape and ornamentation, obviously the fabric and stuff is going to be the ornamentation, but the shape, I'm really happy that they're actually giving the right kind of shape. When I hold them up against myself, they flare out really nicely from the tabs, and the front is already kind of keeping the right shape even though I haven't put the bust support in yet, so it's something I'm really looking forward to seeing finished. Yeah, as I said, I think the main challenge is going to be the tabs, binding those, and at the moment, looking at it, I'm thinking I might try and see if I can add like a strap either side, because that's something that you see on things from this era. Perhaps not as late as these, they didn't, but I just think I would feel a bit more that they were quite sort of supportive. Even if these are fine, I think psychologically for me they're not going to feel supportive unless they're straps. So I'll add those. Potentially I'll see how they are when I've actually got them to a stage where I can try them on myself. And then as well, I was going to make like a pair of pants to go with it because I have enough fabric left over, which I know is completely not the right era, but it's just something I thought I would do. Maybe a pair of small bloomers or something, because I don't know, I just think it would be quite cute to make something to match, even if it's not for the competition.